Trinidad and Tobago is banking on the energy sector as a major area of opportunity for the country. We have more in this report.
The contraction in the economy projected to be around 1.4% next year. Finance Minister Winston Ducaran sees expansion of the energy sector as one of the areas that will provide new financial opportunities for the country. He says it is especially critical that ways be found to diversify the sector and the economy, as from 2006 crude output has been reduced by 30% with a plateauing of the natural gas output. According to Mr. Ducaran, the solutions lie with several investors into the local energy sector, whom government has not only already sourced, but continue to be in talks with.
The government anticipates that in 2012, some $2.5 billion US will be spent in the energy sector on ongoing projects. These are commitments already made. In addition, petrochemical companies will add another $1.4 billion US in the new downstream projects in 2012.
Some of these projects include the AUM2 project, which will see the production of melamine and the formation of melamine-related industries, including the creation of plastics, adhesives, and laminates. The Energy Minister says the project will create 3,000 jobs during construction and 400 plus jobs once permanently underway.
Well, opposition leader Dr. Keith Rowley has dismissed the U.S. $9.1 billion budget presented to Parliament yesterday by the Finance Minister Winston Ducaran as deceitful. Rowley, who is expected to deliver the opposition's response later this week, said he had never seen a Minister of Finance struggle through a budget speech like this one. He said the government is attempting to provide some so-called goodies that raise more questions than answers. The ruling People's Progressive Party in Guyana has objected to the Guyana Public Service Union functioning as an independent observer for the November 28th general and regional elections. The objection arose after GPSU General Secretary Deborah Murphy purportedly endorsed a Partnership for National Unity's presidential candidate David Granger at the union's 19th Biennial Delegates Conference. PPP Executive Committee member Robert Prasad said the GPSU, as a result, is unsuitable to monitor and observe the elections proceedings as an independent entity. The GPSU was recently granted observer status by the Guyana Elections Commission. In business today, some of the targets of government's medium-term fiscal strategy are being modified. Central Bank Governor Dr. Delal Worrell says this has become necessary in light of the economic recession on government's revenue. He says the value of the Barbados dollar is also well protected based on the level of international reserves.
Even so, government will be challenged to find avenues for further reducing its expenditure, while averting reductions to social spending and holding employment levels in the public sector. At the same time, further tax increases are to be avoided for fear of crippling the tentative recovery in output. International at year-end are projected to be equivalent to about 18 weeks of imports compared to 20 weeks last December.
Well, government is being told tonight to urgently do something about the current duties on food. As we hear in this report from Lisa Lord, the high prices of food are crippling some restaurants and hurting tourism.
Nauru Restaurant has been opened for a year, but has been operating for just over a month at its new location at the Shak Shak complex in Hastings, Christchurch. Specializing in traditional Asian food with a Caribbean twist, executive chef and co-owner Barry Taylor says they specialize in mini entrees. One thing they won't be serving up, however, are high prices. But keeping their menu affordable has not been easy. Mr. Taylor says duties have caused food prices to rise so much that it's causing restaurants to suffer.
I can understand you got to protect the local farmers, you have to protect the local industry, but then who's protecting the restaurants? Who's protecting the hotels with these exorbitant costs and duties? So we have to charge an expensive price for food. And you know, the tourists have problems with it. Even the locals have problems with it. Who's looking out for the single mother with three children who's going to the supermarket and paying those exorbitant prices? The government needs to do something about the duties to the people.
Mr. Taylor says the prices aren't only hurting local consumers but the all-important tourism sector, with visitors also complaining about the cost of food.
Every year we get less and less tourists because it's a lot cheaper for tourists to go to the Bahamas, Puerto Rico, Bermuda, and so on and so forth than to come to Barbados. Number one, the travel to get here is extremely expensive, and then once they get here, the food in Barbados is extremely expensive.
While people are opting to eat out less these days, Mr. Taylor is confident that Nauru will hold its own by providing good food and service at affordable prices.
You can come and order 3 or 4 different things. That way you can get the opportunity to taste and experience different dishes instead of just having appetizer and a main course and considering that a meal.
Nauru means to become, and the small fine dining establishment is hoping to be among the best restaurants on the island. Lisa Lord for the Business Report.
Now here's a summary of today's trading on some of the region's stock exchanges.